Cheryl from the Upper Sandusky Community Library, and we're doing a virtual cookbook discussion group today on turkey. So what do you do with all those turkey leftovers? Even though we've heard that you might be buying a smaller turkey this year because of less people in your family gathering. So we're going to be doing two different items, but I have a suggestion. If you like turkey, buy a bigger bird, and that way you can freeze the rest and make two of these or many of the other items that are in the cookbooks. Or if you don't get turkey this year for some reason, or you don't have enough, you can buy it in the can like this, and then put that in any kind of casseroles or salads or whatever you're going to make. Second, we're going to be doing a turkey pasta salad. These are totally new recipes that I've decided to try for you, something a little different than what you normally would. So first will be our turkey, rice, and broccoli casserole, which I pretty much have sort of made on my own, and I've adapted to 2 servings versus a larger serving. So we're going to be putting it, I'm going to layer it, because I think it'll look nicer if we do it in a casserole dish. So we're going to, as I always do, we're going to spray so we have easier cleanup. So first, we're going to layer the rice. Now I did this in the crock pot. It is brown rice because it has more fiber and it's a lot more nutritious. So you can do this in the crock pot. It's very, very easy, which I think I've mentioned to you before. If you put it on high, it takes about 3 hours, on low about 6. So we're going to put in a nice layer of brown rice. And kind of, since I made it yesterday, we're going to kind of just make it so it's nice and smooth here. Okay, and then we're going to put in a small onion. So we'll chop that up. Remember, never use the ends because they tend to be a little strong. And we're going to keep a little bit for our salad. So we're going to use a small onion. So put that on top. You can always use more if you want more than what we would be using. Give it a little bit of flavor. And I don't think it's probably in the recipe, we're going to add just a little bit of pepper. Okay, so you can do either the broccoli, you can either do the broccoli next, which we're going to do. This has been pre-cooked in the microwave for like 5 minutes. And then I just made sure I chopped it fine enough that there aren't really, really large pieces in here. So we're going to put the broccoli on next. I actually used fresh on this since I had fresh on hand. Okay, so we're going to make sure that's nice and even. Okay, so since I haven't cooked my turkey yet this year because Thanksgiving's still 2 weeks away, I bought the canned, and we're going to be using some of that. It's a little chunkier than I thought. So if you're doing your regular turkey, you can just use it shredded, or you can use it, put it in layers, or however you want to do it. But I'm just going to put in a little bit of chunk turkey. Do it to your taste. The recipe actually calls for 1 to 2 cups. Make a nice layer here. And did you know that when you're cooking your turkey, when you have everything off the bone, that you can make really good broth with your carcass and actually use the skins of the turkey. Put it in a pot of water like a Dutch oven and boil it for about 20 minutes, and you'll have free turkey stock to use in noodle casseroles or just turkey and noodles. Don't let your carcass go to waste when you can make good broth out of it. And sometimes, if I don't have time to actually do it within a day or two, put your carcass in a big, big plastic bag, stick it in your freezer, bring it out when you do have time. Okay, so now we have the rice, we have the broccoli, we have the turkey. So this is what it looks like right now. See how pretty it is? We try to make our food attractive so when you eat it, it does look nice. So next we're going to do the mushroom soup. Now we're going to add just a little bit of milk to it, so it isn't really, really thick. Some of your soups are thicker than others. So we're going to add just a little bit of milk. Your recipe calls for like a 1/2 cup. We're going to do it just to see how the consistency is. So we're going to add just a little bit at a time. So we'll mix that up. And what's nice about this casserole also is you can freeze it. Just a little bit more. So we're going to pour that over the casserole, which is the turkey, broccoli, and the rice. And just spread it really nice and even. You could always add a little extra if you think your rice might be a little dry, but really, from what I'm seeing here, for just the smaller serving that I'm making, that this will go into the rice and down there, and I think it'll be just fine. So here's what it looks like before we add the cheese. Nothing to it, it's very attractive. Spread that. Now, cheese-wise, you can use cheddar if you like the sharp cheddar. I already had taco style on hand. So we're just gonna add a layer of that. Now, if you decide to freeze this, obviously take it out of their freezer about an hour or more than that before you actually bake it. If you stick this in the refrigerator, you might have to add an extra 15-20 minutes on the baking. But otherwise, if you stick it in the oven, make sure you put aluminum foil on top, otherwise it'll dry out. And then bake it approximately 45 minutes at 350. And then see how nice it looks when you get done. Okay, so what else are we going to do with turkey today? We are going to make our turkey pasta salad. Thought I'd try something a little different. First of all, did you know that in case you don't know what you're doing on Thanksgiving Day and you forget how do you cook your turkey, how do you roast it, how do you thaw it out, there's a Butterball turkey line, a toll-free turkey line you can call on Thanksgiving, and they get thousands of calls. So don't feel bad if you forget something or don't know how to do it, call the turkey hotline with Butterball, okay? So this is a turkey pasta salad. I'm having the recipe that she's putting online because this is going to be for 2 people versus the 4 to 6 servings that it will do. So we are going to do, I've already cooked the pasta up, and I did 2 different shapes. I like using more than one, it's just more attractive. So I've got the little swirly guys, and then I've got elbow macaroni. So we're gonna put that in my Pyrex dish here. In fact, I don't think we need quite that much. Sometimes you don't realize when you cook as much pasta as you do that it doubles in size, and sometimes it triples in size. So we're going to take a little bit out of it. Okay, so we've got our pasta in here first. Then we're going to add our fresh vegetables. Now, if there's something you don't like, you don't have to use it. If you want to add something different, you can do that. So your recipe calls for red onion or purple onion. We're going to use regular onion. Sometimes I find the purple to be very strong, and this isn't quite as much. If you don't want the onion, just don't put it in. Then I got fresh green pepper. We'll add a little bit of that. In fact, this is the first time I've actually made a turkey pasta salad. And if for some reason you don't like the taste of turkey, either dish can be made with chunk chicken, whether you cook your own in the crock pot or if you buy it in the can. That's always an option for you. So there's a little bit of green pepper. Now we're going to add a little bit of celery. All this has already been pre-washed. You might want a little bit smaller. It just depends how much you like celery. Some people do and some people don't. So we're going to add a little bit of celery. So it's getting colorful like that. Okay, next we're going to make the dressing. Now, I don't like a dry pasta salad, so I did bring extra, so just in case it seems too dry. Otherwise, we're having the recipe So I have a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and I use real mayonnaise, and I have a 1/2 cup of sour cream, but I brought extra so in case it seems dry, we can add the extra. We also will be using the ranch dry mix. Now, I'm not adding the garlic salt that's in your recipe because this stuff is so salty, it might be over-salted. So we'll just try using a 1/2 package since we're having the recipe. So we have got a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. And we have a 1/2 cup of sour cream. I usually use the light, and I've never noticed any difference with any recipes, not even the taste. So it makes it a little bit lighter in case you have to watch how much fat or sugar you need. And it mixes up really, really nice here. Okay, then we're going to add our paprika. So we're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of that. And I use a lot of paprika. It's so colorful. It has a really good flavor to it. I get this at the bulk food store. So we'll just mix that up real nice. And I'm not putting the almonds in. It's something we don't usually eat on a salad, so but you can do that. Then we're going to use 1/2 of our ranch dressing, which is actually green, so it's going to give it a little bit of a green color. And with being 1/2, it says about a 1/2 cup of cooked turkey. So what I did was, I got the same thing out of my can here, the turkey, and I put it on a paper towel. So that way it is pretty much drained, so we don't have all that liquid in there. So that's about a 1/2 cup of turkey. And remember, turkey you should keep in your refrigerator up to 3 days. I wouldn't keep it any longer than that. Okay, so we have it looking like that right now. Then we're going to add our salad dressing and see if it's moist enough, and hopefully it will. Then we're going to actually garnish it, so it'll look very nice if you're going to serve this to family and friends. And they always say the best way to thaw your turkey is in your refrigerator, not on the top of your countertop. So I think it looks like it's going to be pretty good here. In fact, you could use red peppers, which would be pretty, and you can even use red pimentos if you like those. This is more like a main dish too, with that in there. My mother used to make it like this, but she put tuna in it. So that's even an option if you don't want the turkey. Seems just a little on the dry side, but what I would do is right before you serve it, you could add the extra and mix it together. And that way you let your seasoning kind of soak in a little bit. Then you can always add the extra dressing right before serving. So that's what it looks like until we garnish it. Next we're going to, and it even has that on your recipe, pepper rings. These are mild. We're going to put those on top. We always try to make our food look attractive. Okay. Then we're going to add just a little bit of paprika on top of that. I do this on all my macaroni salads because I think it just adds just a little bit of color. So that is our turkey pasta salad. See how nice it looks? So I hope you decide to make either one or both of these recipes. And I'm going to give you a hint. Next month for December, we're going to be doing some of my favorite things I enjoy doing. Christmas cookies. My favorite are bars. So I'm going to start looking through recipes, and I will show you a couple recipes next month. So I hope you'll join us then. Thank you for joining us today, and happy Thanksgiving.